Welcome to PMPA's Final Cut of the Week, where we share important information you may have missed while you were making essential parts. I'm Carly Kistler-Miller.
And I'm Renee Merker, and this is what you need to know for the week ending August 23, 2024. Industrial production fell 0.6% in July, after increasing 0.3% in June. According to the Federal Reserve's G17 release, Hurricane Beryl held down the growth of industrial production by an estimated 0.3 percentage point. Manufacturing output stepped down 0.3% as the index for motor vehicles and parts fell nearly 8%. Manufacturing, excluding motor vehicles and parts, rose 0.3%. At 102.9% of its 2017 average, total industrial production in July was 0.2% below its year-earlier level. Capacity utilization moved down to 77.8% in July, a rate that is 1.9 percentage points below its long-run 1972 to 2023 average. Manufacturing index is up barely 0.1% over year-ago levels. This is a positive news. At 10.3% of the U.S. economy, manufacturing is holding up remarkably well, despite higher costs for materials, talent, and financing.
Non-farm payrolls were revised down by 818,000 jobs, the largest such revision since 2009. Manufacturing jobs were revised down by 115,000. Our take? The numbers were revised down for the period of April 2023 through March 2024. Although this is a large revision downward, it is a lagging indicator based on educated guesses. It could be an indicator of larger economic movements to come, but our business trends data is still positive for our industry, so time will tell.
U.S. cutting tool orders in June were down from May, slightly at 2.9%. Year-to-date orders are up 2.6% compared to the same period in 2023. These cutting tool numbers closely match our expected growth in business trends. 2024 year-end looks to be a good year, followed by a great 2025.
In case you missed it, here are the topics discussed on PMPA's listserv communities. FTC's non-compete ban struck down for all employers nationwide, used CMM machines, cutting off in Inconel 600, titanium cut taps and deep drilling, full and partial materials description requirements, and sources for small diameter Inconel 925. PMPA members can ask and answer questions on our listserv communities by going to pmpa.org.
On this week's Speaking of Precision podcast, Miles Free, David Wynn, and Carly discuss their interpretations of the Eisenhower matrix and how it can improve task prioritizing in precision machining shops. This podcast and our Speaking of Suppliers podcast can be found on major podcast platforms or on pmpa.org.
Now it's time for our weekly tip. What are some of the things to look for when using an outside heat treater for the first time? What else would you ask? Is packaging a concern? Special labeling? Handling? For a list of ideas to start the conversation when choosing a heat treater, go to pmpa.org's Knowledge Centers or Final Cut of the Week.
And that's our take on what you need to know for the week ending August 23, 2024. For additional information and links about any of the topics discussed today, go to pmpa.org and click on Final Cut of the Week.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next Friday.